All right. I got it. I'm not going to go off of your thing. I'm going to give you my own little intro.
Ooh, I'm excited.
Well,
I
why don't
think
we go ahead and just start? I know it's only 11:03, but we'll go ahead and get started because we have quite a few people in here and I don't want to drag this out any further. All right. Well, welcome everybody to another Modern Agent Blueprint. Nikki and I are so excited to have Marissa on today. So Marissa and I met about a year ago, I think. And she has been in the business for quite some time, working with a mega team. She's really dialed in their systems. She was working with Kurt Shewell, who some of you probably know. You were his main admin, correct?
yep.
So she kind of got his systems all streamlined and got all that going, and she does a ton of stuff for their team. And we met at some of these events, and she was working with Phil Stringer, who you might remember who's been on our masterminds a couple times. You might have seen him speak on stage. He does all the AI technologies. He's actually going to be at Build Detroit here in a couple weeks. So I'm excited to have him back again. And Marissa and I have connected, and I've been watching what she's doing. And she recently kind of ventured out on her own doing a consulting business to help people find their perfect admin, find their perfect person. And I think she's going to talk a little bit about that, but talk a lot more about like all the other stuff that goes along with it. So I'm just going to hand it over to you, Marissa.
Okay, perfect. Thanks, Nicole. That was a super fun intro. Yeah, I've been in the industry for 6 years, and I feel like the unique value that I bring is I've also been selling for 6+ years. So I get both sides of things, right? I've sold over 100 homes myself, but then I've closed and been a part of thousands of transactions helping mega teams. So I've seen it all. And I always joke that like I got to learn the hard way spending other people's money so that now I can bring it to you guys and you don't have to learn the hard way, right? We tried it all because I feel like that's something in our industry. We come to these sessions, we go to these events, we do all these amazing things. And all of these speakers who are very successful, they know what they're doing, right? They've been in this industry a long time, but they're like, hey, try this. And we're like, cool, all sounds great. Which one applies to me in the season that I'm in right now? What makes sense for the amount of transactions that I'm doing? So I've helped scale multiple teams now, and I've seen what works, what applies, when it makes sense, when do we bring in these different systems. And something I always like to say is like we can outsell systems, because when Nicole and I were talking initially and trying to figure out like what exactly to talk about today, I made a joke with her that like my consulting company, like our biggest hurdle is trying to make systems like sexy to salespeople, right? Like no one wants to jump on and be like, ooh, let's talk about the boring back end of things, right? It's all the fun sales and like it's just not very flashy. No one's excited to talk about the back end. And so I say we can outsell systems, but we can't outscale systems. And there's a big difference between the two. And even if you're outselling your systems, right? That's still working so much harder than we need to. And we don't have the time that we want to because we're out here grinding. And grinding's great. There's a season for grinding. Sometimes we just have to. And that's the season we're in, and that's great. But there's easier way to do things. And we just don't typically know which system to apply and when. What is the most cost effective way for the season that my business is in? So that's where I come in, and I've had that experience, and I can say, hey, here's the one system that you need. Hey, it is time to hire an admin. We need to be able to start delegating, but like part-time is great. We don't need to go full-time on someone. Don't spend all this money unnecessarily. Why do we have 12 lead sources that we're not converting? Let's pick the two that we do the best at and narrow that down and get really good there. So that's where I can come in between my actual sales experience out in the world and then helping other teams and agents grow. And it's just been my passion these last few years. And I'm so excited now. Like Nicole said, I've branched off a couple months ago and I'm helping more people now. And that's just been so fun. So today, we are going to dive into a system for a CRM, which I would like just a really quick poll, just even like raise of hand, some sort of something for me here. Who already uses a CRM versus who maybe doesn't? We've got a Google sheet. I just use like my cell phone. Like where are we at as far as usage on that front?
what if you have a CRM, but don't really use it, but have a Google Sheet and you use that, but you should be using the other thing?
The CRM, yeah. Perfect. Perfect. So I feel like that is so common, right? Because we were told to get a system. We're like, cool, great, done. We're action takers. We're all about it. I have KV Core, but use Google Sheet. Yeah. Christine, very normal. Nicole just said the exact same thing. So very common. We're just going to do what's easy. And another thing that I feel like is common is we could have all these amazing systems, but the only good system is the one we use. So like if Google Sheets is what you're using, awesome. Let's make Google Sheets work. I used to, for a long time before I got more nerded out with my systems, I would just in my phone contacts, I would put in their little, in the section where there's like notes about people in there, I would put everything. After I'd leave a showing, I'd sit in my car and be like, they have 2 kids, they want this and this, they drink this type of wine. So then when it would come to closing, I'd pull that up and be like, oh yeah, let me get them their favorite wine for a closing gift. So I would use just the notes section as my CRM, right? So whatever works for you is the right answer. Now, a CRM will go through some advantages, but it can make your life easy. That would be awesome to get to. I do believe it's a foundation of a scalable real estate business. But again, if you're not going to use it, don't waste the money. And we're going to talk about today how we can just from your phone and your calendar or your Google Sheet, come up with how to integrate these exact same things. So the key is taking action. So everyone, regardless of whatever CRM you use or don't use, we will be walking away with some sort of action that we're going to take today. Does anyone use or heard of Follow Up Boss? Just out of curiosity, that seems to be another common one that I've seen in, especially like my network of people are pretty big in Follow Up Boss, and then KV Core, and I saw someone use KV Core. So those seem to be the 2 most common. KV Core comes free with a lot of big brokerages, which is definitely a nice advantage. Follow Up Boss is a more midline one. There is some expense to it, but it is not the most expensive. I like it because it's really niche for real estate. So it's specifically made for real estate agents. So if you do have an agent or 2 that is on either your team or just working with you, you can protect your leads and put them all in there. You still own them, but they get privileges to different things. They can use your transaction management. They can use your automations. They can use your templates, all that good things. So today, really quick before we dive in, I always like to just give a fun little disclosure about like just my own self and personality. So I'm pretty direct and just get down to business, right? I don't like to waste anyone's time. Let's just get to it. We're all busy. So at any point in time, I move fairly quickly, but I also have a teaching background. So I know that we got to check in a couple times. If you guys tell me you're good or I don't hear anyone asking questions, I'm going to keep moving along. I'm going to trust that you're good to go. So if you do have questions, though, I want to address them and make sure that you feel like you're getting everything answered and you're walking away with something you can actually apply to your business. So at any point in time, please unmute, please raise your hand, please throw a message in the chat. I can see it at the bottom, or Nicole can always give me a heads up if I don't happen to see it. So please, please, please stop me because I try and keep things moving, but I want to make sure that you guys understand everything that we're talking about today. Is that fair enough?
Perfect. Thank you.
Love it. Okay, super excited. So let's dive in. So I'm going to be sharing at the end, so don't feel like you need to try and like capture all of these really, really fast. So I have a PDF with just copy and paste campaigns for you guys that we're going to be sharing. We're going to go through one of them and how to actually apply it either in your CRM or just text it out or put it in your Google Calendar or whatever we're going to do, right? So we'll show a couple ways to apply it. But we're going to give you all of them at the end. So you'll have 90 days worth of campaigns for 5 different lead sources, emailing and texting at the end of today. So that's the PDF that you're going to get. So don't feel like you have to try and like capture it all really, really fast. It's going to be all given to you in one nice sheet at the end. And then also on there will be my CRM or just my tech stack cheat sheet basically. So it's going to be my 12 favorite tools, 7 of them, because I don't want you to feel overwhelmed. 7 of them are primarily free or very, 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 very low cost. And those are the essentials, right, of a professional business. But then there's a few on the bottom that are for scaling. So if you're already at those levels, you already have those basics, then I've added a few scalable systems on there as well. So that's going to be all at the end, easy peasy for you guys, clickable, copy paste. I try and make it super easy. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive in. I'm going to share my screen, and we tested this, so hopefully we don't have any issues here.
It wouldn't be a modern agent blueprint without technical difficulties, like I told you earlier. So
Yep, yep. Okay, I love it. We're going to screen. Okay, everyone can see that okay?
yep, we see your RU.
Perfect.
And
Okay,
now we can
so
see follow-up boss.
Follow Up Boss, awesome. So diving into Follow Up Boss. So this is the PDF that you guys will get with the systems and then the different campaigns. Easy copy paste. That's the goal. That's my style. I like making it easy because then we can actually apply it. So do we have a preference between an open house follow-up campaign, new website, new seller, cold, or like reviving an old lead campaign? Do we have any preferences?
So I would say reviving an old lead.
Yeah, agree.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, love it. So we're going to apply
We all
our
agree.
old lead texting. So you've got 90 days of texting here because statistically it's 10 to 20 touches depending on who you talk to, what the lead source, but regardless of the market, regardless of your conversion, 10 to 20 touches for a 5 to 7% conversion rate. So you're going to have 20 touches for these 5 different levels of your lead, and warm to cold doesn't matter. 10 to 20 touches, you're going to get it all for the next 90 days. So for today, we're going to do our old reviving leads then. So in a CRM, if we have one, we can build it out where it's automated and it just goes out. And then if we are just texting it, which is totally fine and great, what I used to do too is I would put like buyer or seller and their last name, and that's how I would search people, right? Or if I have a Google sheet, then I would categorize them that way and then just like make a note of my last time I talked to them. Hopefully we've got some sort of basic like that, which is great. If not, and you're just using that Google sheet, that's totally fine too. Just start at the top and work your way down, right? If we don't have it organized, we don't have anyone labeled, great. We're starting with leads, and that's what matters. We're going to consider them all cold leads then, right? We don't have a status, so they're all cold and we're reviving them. So in a CRM, in a Google Sheet, doesn't matter. We've got our names, we've got our phone numbers, emails, whatever contact information we have about these people. And we would just start from the top then and work our way down and just manually send out this message. I'm just going to copy and paste this into my phone, change out their name to Smith. Hopefully that's a real name, right? Smith. And then I would paste it into, if it's just my phone and I'm texting, paste it, send my name and go. And then in my Google Sheet, I'm going to make a note that like day 1 of this is done. And then I set a calendar reminder for this campaign says 3 days later. So I'm going to come into my calendar on day 3 and put time block for reviving lead text campaign, 15 minutes of texting and getting those messages out. I'm just going to send it back to that same people, start at the top of my Google Calendar or my Google Sheet and work my way down. And then if people respond, I can see it the next time I'm in there 3 days later, right? Because I'm going to just be on my phone. I text respond right away, right? So I go back in my 3 days later and I make my update. Smith responded to me and we've got a showing for later. Smith unsubscribed and said, stop texting me. Whatever it is, I'm just going to start back at the top and go down and make my update the next time I'm in here. Don't stress about trying to touch these every single day. Follow the cadence of the campaign that's set for you and just make those your touches. Does that all make sense so far for not having a CRM that tells us these things automatically? Cool. I saw some head nods, so we're going to keep going. Okay. In a CRM, though, we can build out what's called smart lists, and we can template all of these text messages where they happen for us. So that's where we can outscale our just grinding because it does things for us and allows us to do them quicker, more efficient, more effective. Which I love because I don't know about you, but I do not want to be cold calling forever. I don't want to be following up forever. We typically stink at follow up naturally as realtors. So if this can do a lot of the work for us, I am team that. So in a CRM, if we have that, then we can set smart lists, which have filters And we can say, let's for our hot leads. So anyone, just as an example here, we can set filters based on what stages they're in, the last time we've talked to them. And then the goal would just be to come through and say, all right, I've got my active pendings that I need to touch every single day, right? They're under contract. I have business actively going with them. And I would just work through all of my different smart lists that I've set for the day. So active and pending clients, that's just a stage that they're in. And then I would call all 84 of them. Well, the other nice part about a CRM is I can check all 84 of these people. And I don't want to do it because I don't want to call lab here. But I would just hit this calling list and it immediately starts dialing them for me. And if lab doesn't answer, it logs the call, it updates this and takes him off of here. So then I know, and my list is clear at the end of my day. But then I can hit that button and it automatically goes to Venkata and calls the next person. If Venkata answers, it records that call. And then I can make any notes that I want to make from the call. All of her information's right there on the screen for me. It will record it so that I don't have to remember, because I don't know about you, but I don't always have the best memory, right? So when I'm talking to someone a week later, then I don't have to remember, oh, shoot, what address did they tell me on that phone call? Oh, what did they tell me? And sometimes they call us when we're in the car and I can't stop and take a note of a address that they want to go and see. Well, it's all recorded. So then whenever I get home, I can just pull it back up, listen to the recording, set the showing, and be good to go. So, and then it keeps going, calls through all the people, makes it easy peasy. So then I would move on to my next one, my new leads. I've got 3 people that have come through and there's no call attempt, but the phone number is good because, as we all know, some of our lead sources, that's not always the case. So a CRM can test those things for you. It will run their information through Google. It finds all of their social media information, puts that in here for you, which I think that's going to be hidden too, but on their profile, it'll show that. If it is a website lead, it'll pull in what that lead was looking at, price points, things like that, and give you summaries too. So then you can call and say, hey, I was just driving by Stratford Lane and thought of you, Alan. Any chance you'd like to go and see that later today? And you have the information then to have much higher converting phone calls. Gonna be like, oh my gosh, how'd you know I'd like that one? That's awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'd love to go see that later, right? So we don't want to say, oh, I saw you were checking out 123 Main Street. No, I was driving by Stratford Lane, saw it and thought of you, or I showed another client Stratford Lane and thought of you. Would you like to go and see it? We're powered with information. Let's use it strategically. So then I call through my 3 hot people that have come in and I haven't communicated with, and then I just keep going. So I work my way from my actives through hand raisers, super hot people, all the way through the colder and warmer list. So I predetermine these things, which is something that we talk about in our community. So I don't want to go too deep into all of the filters of what makes up these different smart lists. And there's ways that we can still do it and hack it in a Google Sheet, because we can filter them with different tabs. We can move these people back and forth and make smart lists ourselves without having to do these CRM. So there's lots of ways to get creative when we don't have some of these systems yet. Okay.
Is it true that KV Core doesn't have a dialer that we can log these calls?
Correct. KV Core does not have a dialer. Yeah, Follow Up Boss does. So that's one advantage of Follow Up Boss over KV Core. There are smart lists though, which is still super handy. It's going to do the sorting for you and put them on the list based on whatever filters you set, but there isn't a dialer. So you'll still have to have like the phone and keep that part separate. Yeah, great question. Any other questions before we move on to some of the automation? Smart list makes sense? Awesome. And then to set these, just in case you do have Follow Up Boss or a system that has smart lists, all you have to do is when you're in your new, like all people, just go where there aren't any filters, and then you can set whatever filters you want. So maybe I want to focus on a certain tag that I did. I tried a new lead source. I tried an ad. I tried whatever, and I want to call all of those people. I tried it 6 months ago and I haven't really touched anyone. It's time to touch all of those people again. So I can pick a tag that I did. I can search by, let's see. I can search by if you have, depending on what lead sources you do have, some will come in here and like your website will come in and you can see the activity. So you can see like last website activity, last email activity. Where's the website one? Profile visits, property view. So here, so last visit within a day. So I want to see active people, right? And I'm going to call everyone that did any sort of activity. He's got 57. One of my clients has 57 people that have visited their website in the last day. That's a great hot list to call. So save that list as my website viewers, right? And I'm going to call those people maybe once a week. I just batch that out and make sure I didn't miss anybody. So that's how you can create smart lists. You would just then save this list, name it what you want, assign it to whoever you want to have access. If you do have other people on your team, or it's just for yourself, and that's great. They do have Follow Up Boss just for solo agents as well. You're still going to get all these features. There's just not like all the ponds and stuff that you don't need, which is nice. Okay, so moving on to our automations. There are two versions of automations, and we've got our action plans and then the actual automations that put the action plans into effect. But first, we have to start with our foundation of our templates, and then we can build out the plans around it and automations when a new lead comes in, when they move to a new stage, maybe when we set an appointment. Does anyone have a buyer's guide or a seller's guide that they like to send out before they go and meet with clients? Well, if we log our appointment or we move the stage to appointment set as their stage, then it can automatically say, hey, Nicole, I can't wait to meet you tomorrow. Here's our guide so that you know what our marketing is. I can't wait to talk to you about it. Let me know if you have any questions ahead of time. So we're helping confirm those appointments. We're providing value before we even get there, and it's increasing our odds. We look so professional. So all of that can just happen automatically. Something else Nicole and I had talked about was she feels like she misses sometimes like birthdays, anniversaries, home anniversaries, and we don't remember to send gifts. We don't remember to ask for referrals, right? So we can set these different tags. Do we have this ability in KV Core? You can tag and you can set tasks and automation in KV Core too. It's very similar on that sense. And then same with smart lists. So we can say if this field equals this, put it on this smart list. So we can come up with a whole birthday smart list, and it's just sorted by your birthday field is today or is this week. And then it pops up on this list. And every Tuesday I make all my birthday calls. Happy birthday, Sean. Can't wait. Are you celebrating this weekend? Blah, blah, blah. Awesome, right? Or I send a text message or I send a video. So however you're doing it, we can tag these people. So in the people, we can come up with whatever custom fields we want to. So I had built out their transaction automation in here as well. So whenever they put in a new transaction, all of that shows up here. So we can pull out additional information to autofill into emails that we do and text messages. But the birthday is in here. So whenever we get that a part of the transaction, their home anniversary, spouse's birthdays, we just put those in here. And then we can set in our admin in here, we can do action plans based on birthdays. So an action plan to run, create a task. And then the task type is a follow-up and assigned to the agent. And birthday. Let's just do this one really quick. Birthday reminder. Perfect. Save. And then the automation is when the tag is added or when a deal stage is added, a calendar date. So we have a custom field for birthday is in, let's say 7 days, right? Give myself a chance. Oh, that did not save. Birthday is in 7 days, done. Then we're going to apply our action plan, which is birthday reminder. And then it runs once per person. So that's good to go. So then our automation is set. And whenever this person's birthday comes up in 7 days, because we put that field in, the agent assigned to that person is going to get a task, which I can see my tasks every day. I don't have any tasks due today. So I can see any tasks that are due today. And we set it to give me a week's notice to see, and then I can make all my calls. So nice and easy peasy. I can also do it as a smart list where my filter is birthday is in the next 7 days. And then, which we don't have many, we just added the birthday automation to this team's account. So in the next 7 days, then we would save this list and let's just assign it to agents really quick. And I can delete this later. Okay, that one doesn't want to save, but oh, birthdays. Save. So then now I would have a birthday list where anyone that has that field coming up in the next 7 days is going to populate here. And then I'll get a task on the 7 days. So again, a system's only good as how you function and how you work it. So I can look at my tasks. I can look at my smart list, because if I'm really good at just keeping up with my smart list, right? Every single day I grind through 1 through 10. I hit all my smart lists. I talk to all my people and I'm really good at that. Great. Set a birthday smart list. If I'm really task oriented, then great. I'm going to set tasks and build automation around it. So that's a really quick overview of action plans and automations and how to make sure we never miss another birthday, another home anniversary, whatever dates that we care about. We can set reminders and tasks or create lists to make sure that you don't miss out on that. Any questions on the automation and birthdays and where that could come in? Okay, cool. Let's keep going. So then to get to the good stuff here, the texting and emailing are campaigns. So we're going to create texting templates, and we're just going to create a new template. And again, it's as easy as copy paste. So I'm going to copy this first message, my day one, and I'm going to come back in here and I'm going to put this in here, and I can create a merge field. Contact first name, which you can do this in KV Core too. The only place you're not going to be able to do any merge feeling is through the Google Sheets and doing some manual effort, but you'll just type it out and that's okay. So we can put that in here and it's going to pull it automatically for you. This one we can't merge field, so I'm just going to put in based on notes, or I can just say, are you still interested in moving, right? And then do your name, which if you have a team and you're building out templates, I can do a merge field for contact or sender first name. So then it comes from whoever is sending this. So if I'm trying to build out texting automations for my team so that their campaigns come from them, then I can do it from sender. Same thing if I'm trying to do something for my admin or my TC and I want them to do transaction touches for me. I can build out all these texts and emails for the client experience that I expect for my clients, but I want my TC doing the work for me. Well, I can create the text and email templates, come from sender or come from agent if I want it coming from me and them just do the effort. So I can pick who it's sent from and make that nice and easy peasy. That's another advantage to a CRM versus just manual, unless you're sitting right next to them and admin can't be you on a text message. But if you have a CRM, they can log in as you, use your phone through this, and then they get to be you from anywhere at any time, which is super handy. Okay, so that would be creating our thing. So this is day one of our, we did reviving leads, right? Reviving leads campaign. And then I can share it with everyone. And then we'll save that text message. And then I would just keep going. I'm going to create day 3. And then copy day 3. Bring these all over. Merge field these in. So it's a one-time setup. Or if I, oops, not agent first name. We want client first name. And then do my name. So sender. And this is all the exact same as it would be in KV Core. There's templates and everything in there too. They're just slightly different admin spots. And then, so we would just build those out for all 10 touches for my email and my texting. So all of my campaigns get added right into their copy paste one time. That's done. And then I can come back in here and do an action plan, which I did an action plan for, I was telling you guys about like my transactions. So I want to see, I created tasks and emails and text messages for transaction build out where I want to control the client experience. So I picked out my templates. I picked out what the TC is going to say, made it sound like me, made it sound professional, included all the information I want to. I built the templates, and then all they have to do is come in and follow the steps, and they automatically get assigned these tasks every single day. And then it would literally say, send this title order email. There's a template right in FUB. So if I am working on, I've got too many things filtered here. Let me turn this off now. So if I'm working with Smith and I go to send the text message or the email that I'm told to text here, Then I can do my pending email. It merges everything in for me, nice and pretty. I decide what's put in here, and then I can send it whether I'm coming from the TC, coming from the agent, anything like that. So it's really easy once they're in there to apply them. And then all I have to do is trust what my tasks tell me day over day and follow my tasks, follow my templates. So that makes it easy. How are we feeling with automations, templates, the flow? Does that make sense? Do we see how it could save us time and guesswork?
I have a question, Marissa.
Yeah.
When you're putting the text messages within the CRM, within the tasks, and you're putting like day 3, day 4, day whatever, does that automatically pull up when it's day 4 or day 5, or do you have to do, is there another step so it sends out the correct one?
Yeah, so I'm not big on having any text or emails automatically send for me just because technology can go crazy on me sometimes, right? So I set them as tasks to send day 1, send day 3, send whatever of whatever campaign it's in, because then if something doesn't autofill correctly, I don't look silly to a client. I want to be able to fix it before I hit send on that button. So just a little bit of a layer of control that I like to keep is to set the template and then use the automation to tell me what to send and when. And then 2, if I see that they engage with my last couple text messages, maybe I don't just send that cold revival text. Maybe I pick up the phone on this one. Hey, it looked like you were active again. Hey, it was this or this. And so then it also gives me freedom to be a little flexible and make that extra call if I want to, or add a couple extra things in there. If I did see that they just checked out a website, I can add another line of, hey, I was also just driving through your neighborhood and thought of you. How are you doing? Blah, blah, blah.
Perfect. Makes total sense. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Great question, Lisa. Any other questions on the workflow, the texting, building out the automation before we move on? Okay. Cool. So that is those admin settings. So then another one that I wanted to kind of go through, we did the TC action plans, and I also do them for seller and buyer appointments. So then I can set up the different tasks to tell me what messages to send, follow up after an appointment. You can do 3, 4, however many days. The second day after the appointment, I want to reach out and try and order photos, right? Like keep them going down the pipeline. So I can set reminders for these, and then you can set them for yourself, your admin. Maybe you're introducing a assistant or something. Maybe you're on the buyer side, you have a showing assistant. So we can introduce and add they call them collaborators in these different systems. So that's where it just makes it easy. But even in Google Sheets, guys, we just start from the top, work our way down, and then the tabs are going to be your hack. So we can tab out these different smart lists and make that easy. We can still use all these because in our PDF, it's just copy paste. So whatever you need, we can copy paste. And then if we don't feel like, if you're looking at these and you're like, I don't know that these are really my style, that these are really my voice. Another fun tip that I actually was thinking of on my way here is I can take this campaign and put it into Chat GPT. So if we're looking at this and we're like, yeah, that just doesn't really sound like me. I'm not an exclamation point person. I'm more serious. I'm more professional, or I like extra exclamation points. I am more funny. I'm not as formal. Then we can take this campaign, put it into Chat GPT, and literally just say, make these texts sound more like me. If you've already been talking in a chain in Chat GPT. Otherwise, I can share a prompt with you too that can help train Chat GPT to sound like you. But if you have any chain going before, I just keep one going, and then I just keep talking and talking and talking in the same one. And then it starts to learn my style and how I ask things, how I communicate. And so then in these instances, I can just open this up, make this sound like me, dump it in here. So I just did this, and let's see what happens. It's going to shout back out a different variation on the same campaign. I don't know if it's going to like it because I'm screen sharing. Let's try. There we go. So I'm a big emoji girl, so it immediately threw some emojis in there for me. I'm a hey guys. I'm definitely a let me know. I'm a hey friends. So it's changing out just a few things to make it sound a little more like me. So even if you find these campaigns or you see where another producer or something is sharing some different hacks or some campaigns or things that worked really well for them, take those bones, put it into ChatGPT and say, make this sound like me. And then put it into whatever system, CRM, even if it's your Google Sheet, whatever you're doing, organize your people. Start from top to bottom, start on day one, and then just set yourself a reminder in your Google Calendar to go back and do day 3, go back and do day 7, go back and do whatever. And it just makes it easy peasy that way. Okay, so any questions on adding these things to your CRM, hacking it in Google Sheets? Everything feel pretty good? Cool. Okay. So today, if we don't have any of these systems yet, I would love for everyone to send one text message out to at least one client, because if we don't take action, it was a waste of these last 45 minutes. So anyone either in your system or in your phone or in your Google Sheet, everyone go find one contact and let's send out this first message. I'm going to put it in. We're doing this first text message. So we're contacting an old lead. I'm going to put it in the chat so you guys can just copy paste since you don't have the CRM or the PDF yet. Let's see, maybe I'll stop sharing. Oh, because it's white. Okay, and then let's change it to black so you can actually read this. Okay, posted it in the chat there. So copy paste that message and let's send it out to one person. And then you're gonna have the PDF and we're gonna keep going from there. We're all about taking action. Okay, and then while you guys are doing that, I'm gonna pull back up the PDF so you can share and start downloading that. All right, and there's the PDF for everyone. So this has all 12 of my favorite systems, top to bottom, the order that I would do it if I was starting over of priority. Those first 7, there's a mix of free, very low cost to the CRM. So I recommend Follow Up Boss. They do have a solo option. They've got team options. Follow Up Boss just has with that dialer, it's going to make things super, super, super time effective for you. But if you do have KV Core through your brokerage, which a lot of brokerages offer, that is not a bad option by any means. And then maybe it's investing in a dialer separately, right? And getting those two systems to talk together. So that's all the stuff that we talk about, the actual applying in my community is what are you stuck on, right? We found this option. We like this option. How do I apply it to my business? I want to take the action. Do I do it now? Do I wait? When does that make sense for me? Sean, what's your question? How can I help?
On Follow Up Boss, does it use your cell phone or a different cell phone number? Like I know
Great question.
it has a totally different cell phone number it uses.
Yeah, it is a totally different cell phone number. It's a Google-based line. So that's, some people love that. Some people hate that. The disadvantage, of course, is if you've got like Sphere or friends that already have your personal cell phone information. But at the same time, like I had a client who he puts his cell phone out on like every single marketing piece out there. Well, that's not the end of the world by any means, but the spam gets out of control. And if I can, and I can't, I lose the information of what is always working too when I don't know where these contacts are coming from. So in Follow Up Boss, I can have as many phone numbers as I want to. And so I can put this phone number on my yard sign. I can put this phone number on my postcard campaign that goes out. I can put this phone number in my buyer and seller guides. So I know what source is working. How do you download it? It comes right to your email, and then there's a little button to download. So in your email, I did hear where it went to spam for a couple people. So if you don't see it within a minute or two pop up in your email, double check your spam, because I have heard it goes there sometimes, unfortunately.
Yeah, I was curious what that was actually that was my second question with you for follow-up, because I know with KV Core, very often, especially with new leads, it goes to spam a lot. I didn't know
Yeah,
if has a different.
yeah, there's DNS settings in Google that we can get creative with and make sure and get around some of the spam issues. We want to make sure that you're logged as different Google businesses. So that's stuff that we can definitely go over in the future too. I'll come back and get with Nicole and see if there's a few other things we want to add for a future session, which actually that does transition me pretty good into my community here. So I just launched, and Nicole and I, when we were talking, something that we really bonded over was we both kind of felt alone, even in a big brokerage, even in with amazing networks. Like I personally have an amazing network of people, but shocker, right? Like real estate can be a little sharky sometimes, and we don't always like giving away our secret goods, like what the campaigns that actually work, the newsletter hack that drives really high open rates. So I was searching for a community that would share those insights, that would share the goods. I think we can work so much smarter together, because even if we all sent the exact same thing, people are going to connect with different people. They're going to connect to the people that they know, like, and trust. So we're all going to get different people, even if we're sending the exact same campaigns. So that's what I never understood. Like, why the heck aren't people sharing what's working? Let's talk about analytics together. Let's say that this one had a 50% open rate. Julie, go try it. Like, go put it out to your whole community. And that just didn't exist. So that's where Nicole and I kind of bonded. She built this agent blueprint because there wasn't the community that she was searching for. So when we were talking, I felt that it just made perfect sense to launch my community here. I didn't see the download in email or spam. Okay, Christina, you want to throw your email in the chat and I can get it to you. It just says like, here it is. It's an email that comes, but I'll send it to you directly if it's not working.
Marissa, I didn't get it either. I tried
the same thing.
twice,
Yeah.
And it's not in your guys' spam?
I checked my spam. I checked my trash. Checked it all. I didn't see it.
It might. We should maybe it just takes a couple minutes.
It might take a second. It usually was just a minute or two. Okay, well, we'll give it another minute, and if not, I'll just end up posting it in here. I'll get the emails from Nicole and just send it out to everyone that way. Okay, so yeah, I thought it would be a great idea to launch my community with people who are also looking for community. So today I wanted to share with you guys.
Oh, I got it. Nice. Sorry.
Nice. Perfect. Okay. Glad it came through. Did it go to your spam too, just out of curiosity, or did it come through? Okay, good. So it just takes a minute. That is good to know though, because I did not track the exact time. So it's good to know it is a good couple minutes.
You are talking to realtors who expect everything this very moment. We want it now.
Mine did go to spam though. Just maybe some do, some don't. I don't know why.
Okay.
Yeah, mine went to spam too, but I got it. Yeah.
Okay, good. I'm glad it came through, and it seems like some mix, but that is all good information. Thank you guys. But this is exactly what I love doing. I love testing things and collaborating. So I built the community where every 2 weeks we'll jump on a live and we can go through whatever your guys' problems are. If you are working on an event and you want to build out an email campaign, you want a lead capture, you're speaking for the first time and you're like, I don't even know what the heck to do. How do I maximize this opportunity? So we talk about capturing more leads. We talk about converting leads. We talk about the systems. So every system that's on that list, we'll go through it. And I'll do a demo just like we did today, but then you share your screen and you're always going to get me. I've been in the weeds. I'm here to help you. So I'm going to be the one on the live and we're going to work through your problems, your unique systems, and we'll get through your hacks. If you're like, hey, I don't have this yet, let's do it on a Google Sheet this time live together. So we can customize it and it's for you. And it's everything that I was searching for and just didn't have access to and wasn't a choice in our environment. So I didn't find it, so I built it, and I wanted to bring this to you guys today, which let me pull this back up. So Nicole and I worked something out here where it's a special launch because not one other person has even seen this at all yet. So we put together a special launch option. Normally it's going to be a $99 membership a month, but we put together a half off option for you guys. And that is forever. It's not just for the first month. That will be forever and ever. So if you're interested in joining the community at all, the first session is tomorrow, and there's challenges, which are fun. So it's an app-based community too. It's not just a course where it's like buy it one time and then I never check back in on you. So it's an app. We're live every 2 weeks. And again, it's always going to be me. There's challenges. So I give you at least 3 to 4 challenges every month. You don't have to do them by any means, but it's guided content. And then we can talk about them if you get stuck on anything to help set you guys up for scaling. We shouldn't have to work so hard. So every single thing is directed on how do I scale and work smarter? And I just want copy paste. I want it to be easy. I don't have time. You guys don't nerd out on systems like me, more than likely. I'll go do all the nerding for you. I'll go make it copy paste and just give it to you. I'll learn it all the hard way. I have been learning it the hard way. So this is how do I do it easy? And it's all going to be just dropped in there for you to copy paste. And then, like I said, we've got the lives every other week where, hey, I got stuck on this. It's not working as intended. Hey, my email's not coming out as it was supposed to, or my emails do go to spam. What's the new DNS update that I need to do in Google to make sure they don't go to spam? So we'll keep you updated on all that good stuff to make sure that you get into people's inboxes. If we are doing this effort, let's make sure that it's working. So that's what the community's all about. It's to actually work smarter together. And I'm so excited to launch it. And thank you guys all so much for giving me the opportunity to come here. I did want to, if we've got a couple more minutes here, I was going to show you a little sneak peek of the community because I feel like that sometimes helps too, right? If I can see it, then I'm more likely to be a part of it if it looks good to me that way. So I thought I'd give you a little sneak peek. So on my website too, so you can download an app and that makes it really easy, or you just come to my website. You don't have to go to some crazy site and remember what the heck I'm doing. So on my website, there's a member portal. And then if you are interested, there's also an affiliate portal, but my member portal is super easy. You would log in and then just open up the community. And then within the community, it's basically like a Facebook feed. So all the information is going to pop up here. There's all the little chats here. I've got a book club because if anyone knows me or follows me on social media, I'm constantly reading, sharing books, sharing my insights, things that I love. So I've got a little book club in here so that I can share that too. The mastermind is the live call. So every 2 weeks, and then they'll be recorded and automatically uploaded there as well. Collaboration where we can just post and challenge and say, hey, I got stuck on this, or hey, did anyone try this? Or hey, what's your open rate on this and what worked? And what are you guys doing for subject lines right now? Did anyone try anything creative? So we can collaborate together and actually what the heck is working and working smart together. And then weekly value and updates are where you'll get those updates every single week, some other new campaign to try, something to copy paste every week. Something will be dropped for you guys on Thursdays. And then intros is just a fun place where we can all introduce each other and get to know and network. So again, I just built this out of the needs and things that I was looking for, things that were missing for me. And that is what I've come up with. So here's like the little challenges, you can join them. And if you complete them, anyone that does, so there's a little leaderboard, anyone that completes the challenges gets a chance to win a prize every month. So we're just trying to make it fun and a true collaboration between like-minded people. So I'm pretty excited to launch and share that with you guys. And then the last thing I'll say is there is an annual option too. So there's a way to save even 3 months off just by buying the annual option. It's on that checkout page right in there. And then if you end up hating it for whatever reason, you're like, hey, this isn't for me. I don't like it. I am not interested in keeping anyone's money who's not happy. So it's a full refund, zero risk. I want people that are happy, leveraging the opportunity. So I'm always going to guarantee it, back it up. I don't want your money if you're not happy. So it's zero risk. come try it out, come hang out with us. First session's tomorrow, and then first value drop is Thursday. And I am so excited to bring this value to more and more people.
Marissa,
Anyone-
what time are
tomorrow?
your masterminds, or what is it? What's the time?
Yeah, great question. They are, which actually I want to make sure I don't say the wrong thing here because it is the first one's tomorrow. And they go right into your calendar too, which is handy. So 11:30 Eastern every Wednesday, or 11 to 11:30.
Perfect.
Yay. Okay. Any other questions or things I can help with, guys? This was so fun.
Marissa, my brain's gonna explode.
Then come
Yeah,
join
I'm
the
in a
community,
state of
'cause it shouldn't
overwhelm.
feel hard. It should not feel hard. So let's do it together, and that makes it easy.
I think, Julie, it's overwhelming because we're not doing any of this stuff. And so
It's just my campaigns are not built out like that, especially when it comes to like steps to the buyer seller process. But more importantly, I think I have certain lead sources that maintain their own database, right? And I never even put them into like KV Core. Just
Yeah.
try to manage those ones on their own. And it's just, and part of it is a time thing and probably needing an assistant to help with it. But it's, it's not starting over, but really certainly taking a look at things and trying to improve them. And
I feel like from like even the people who we've had on here before, like Alyssa Stalker, we had her on before about her email templates and all that. Once you build them out, it's like you take that time to build it out and then it's forever there. So
Yeah.
whether you hire somebody to build it out for you, or you hire Marissa to help with all that, or you do something along those lines, or take that time. Once you have it there, it's just a matter of tagging people and getting them in, right, Marissa? Am I
Yep.
wrong?
Yeah, 100%. And that's where too, like if you're like, oh, I don't have all these things, you shouldn't have to come up with it. Let someone else do that effort for you at least. And then whether you're the one putting in CRM, or like Nicole said, I do offer services where I can come in and literally do it all for you, and you just pick up the phone when someone answers. But the community seems to be kind of that happy medium where it's very, very cost effective, where you can get all the value yourself. You sit down for an hour or however long and knock out this just one time, kind of reset. I always like to say it's like that foundation. Julie, you're doing all the right activities, but you're in that season of just doing it harder than it needs to be. And we're probably letting things slip through the cracks because of it. Our conversion's not where it should be. You're working hard, but the conversion's not there because we're letting something slip through because our foundation just wasn't set well. So it's taking that little tiny step back, spending a little bit of time relaying that foundation so that you can skyrocket. And then it doesn't matter what market we're in, right? Because we're consistent, and it's doing a lot of that work for us, being consistent that we're not naturally great at.
yeah, because people need
That's
to
why I
touch
hired Marissa.
Right. People just need, like, you can't expect that first phone call is going to get picked up, or that first text can be responded to. That's the hardest part of this business, in my opinion, is the nurture, because the slipping through the cracks is painful. And it can happen so easily because we're all too busy to do it one by one, day after day. You have to have automations.
Yeah.
To scale it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we can outsell systems. We can't outscale systems. So that's where it gets easy.
Hey, Marissa,
Yeah.
will your masterminds be recorded?
Yes.
Okay,
Yep.
good.
They're all recorded and available in the app as well.
Okay, because I already have a town site one at the same time.
The town site closed at 11. That's the only thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Same, Sean.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if it's all in there and you can go back and rewatch it, and then there's the community, so you can ask questions, or if you need clarification, Marissa will be there to answer questions in the community too. So you're not really missing anything by not being on the call. I mean, the collaboration, I guess, on the call, but
Yeah.
still worth it.
Thank you.
Well, I am so excited, Marissa. This is got my engines revving, and you made it sexy somehow. You said earlier.
That's the goal.
I like the copy and paste, like that makes life so much easier. And, I feel like that's where people get so caught up in this business is, I don't know what to send, so I'm not going to send anything. And I'm guilty like that. I don't
I
do
agree,
anything
though.
with my stuff. And
There's so
that's
many
why
people out there. Yeah. So many people out there telling you what to say or what not to say. You worry that by sending something, it's worse than sending nothing at all. You know, so it's good that you have these templates. They seem to be working, the verbiage that you're using, you're confident in, you know, so I love that.
Yeah, it's all tested. Everything I send and the value I drop is stuff that I've been using with teams for years, and I'm only sharing the best that works, right? So we've done all the testing and learned the hard way. So now I just get to share with you guys all the goods.
Hey, do you happen to know if there's going to be any changes to KV Core now that what's the new name now? They changed the name?
Change the name.
Yeah.
Honestly, I haven't kept up with that too much. I'll have to do some digging. That's
Oh,
interesting.
yeah. They,
What did they change the name to?
hold
had
on,
no
I can't
idea.
remember. It's such a weird name too.
It's like what they did with, well, they did that with Chime or something. They called it Lofty. It's so
Yeah.
stupid.
Oh, it's rebranding to Bold Trail.
Bold Trail. Isn't that weird?
Interesting.
That's like Bold Trail. It sounds like a outfitter for like adventure or something.
Right.
Like, I'm gonna go to Bold Trail and pick up a pair of hiking boots. Like, I
Right. That's weird.
don't.
Very weird.
I just didn't know if anything was changing with the database itself, with the
No,
CRM, or it's just a new name.
No range of it does look like they're making some new rollouts, but nothing too
No,
dramatic.
dialer maybe. 'Cause
Right.
we get KV Core or Bold Trail anyway, so it's hard for me to think about paying for a follow-up boss, although it looks like Mark Whitehead's doing it, so he must see the value in it.
I've heard a lot of really good stuff about Follow Up Boss.
Me
We
too.
looked to Follow Up Boss when we had the team and we were trying to figure out what was going to work best for everybody. Follow Up Boss was a top contender. We ended up going with Chime just because it just seemed more user intuitive, and I think it was cheaper. But
I'm
for
more expensive.
it ended up being very expensive. We were paying $8.99 a month for Chime for our clients.
That's about half of that.
Well, here comes Jeremy with the wrong time zone.
I know. I was just gonna say I said Jeremy, somebody's gonna show up 1 minute till the end. Here he is.
And in conclusion,
right. That's too funny.
At least he showed up, right? You missed it all, but you're here now, Jeremy.
I feel so loved.
Hey, Marissa, there was a question in the chat. After I purchase, will I get the app?
Yes. Yep. So as soon as you log in, then the app will come up to say like, download this app, blah, blah, blah. And there'll be all the instructions to download it right in the website.
Perfect. Jeremy, you're going to have to go back and watch all this on YouTube, but it's worth it. And you should definitely check it out.
Really?
You missed a great presentation here.
Jeremy, I'll just start it over just for you.
Best blueprint ever.
Here we go.
I feel so inspired. You guys just get me excited every day.
You're the only dude on the call too, so that should be noted.
I love it.
Is this
Skylar,
it?
Skylar was here. I don't know where he went.
Oh yeah, he was. Which
That's my
CRM is the
boy.
best, Christy? Oh, what's our answer? Which CRM is the best?
So I
The one that you
recommend
use.
personally Follow Up Boss, but yes, to be totally honest, any system across the board, if you're not going to use it, don't waste any time, energy, just whatever you're going to do, and let's make that as effective as possible. But if we're actually looking at systems, Follow Up Boss is as niched out as it gets for real estate and has all the benefits without having things that make no sense. So Follow Up Boss is what I recommend for a CRM. And they have solo packages, team packages, insane scaling packages, and it's not contact based. So you can have a bazillion contacts and you're not being charged more. It's user based.
Would you mind setting that up for me?
Sure.
She does all that.
That's what I do.
Because that's what people call me. They call me the follow-up boss.
Yeah, that's awesome.
They created it for you.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Marissa. We really appreciate having you on here. I will be posting this video on YouTube very shortly here after it finishes rendering. We can't stream live in Facebook anymore for whatever reason, but we will put this back up on YouTube here shortly, and I'll put the link in the group as well. So if anyone has any other questions, or if you want to reach out to Marisa directly, Marisa, do you want to quickly tell them what your Instagram is or best contact info?
I will throw that in here too. Are You Consulting? You can pretty much find me everywhere. Are You Consulting? Website, Instagram, social media. And then I'm Marisa Morello, 1S. My parents made that nice and easy for me because they were Marty and Lisa. So I'm MAR Marty, ISA Lisa, but no one spells Marisa that way. So that was super fun growing up. Couldn't get anything and everyone spells it wrong, but it's a unique thing. So yeah, find me anywhere. Are You Consulting? Reach out. I would love to answer any more questions you guys have and hopefully see some of you in the community.
Fun fact, Marisa, my daughter's best friend is a Marisa, and she spells it just like you.
No way. That's awesome. Very
and
rare.
she's a MM too. She's her initials are MM as well. Too funny.
That is
All right,
awesome.
everyone, have an awesome day. Jeremy, thanks for joining us at the last second. We will let you watch the video later. Have an
Thanks,
awesome day.
guys.
Thanks again, Marisa.
Thank you.
See you.